Hello and welcome. In this explainer, we're diving into something really practical, how to find a stable, calm center, no matter what kind of chaos is swirling around you in your life.
So let's start with a question just for you to think about, because so much of life can feel like we're just being tossed around by things that are totally outside our control. But what if there was a place of perfect stillness that you could get to anytime you want it?
I want you to picture a hurricane from space. It's this terrifying, massive spiral of wind and rain, just complete destruction. But right there, in the dead center, is the eye. And inside that eye, the sun is shining. It's totally serene. Well, that is the perfect map for our own lives. The storm is all the chaos of the day-to-day, but the eye is a place of profound peace that exists right inside you.
So, let's really break this down. Let's explore these two different ways of being. You see, most of us, most of the time, are living out on that chaotic rim of the storm, but we always have another choice.
Life out on the rim is all about duality, happy and sad, winning and losing. It's noisy, it's chaotic, it's a constant roller coaster. But life in the eye, that's completely different. It's a feeling of oneness, of this deep stillness and calm. It's stable. And the goal here isn't to make the storm stop. That's never going to happen. The goal is to learn how to move your awareness from that rim right into the center.
So where exactly is this center? I mean, this isn't just a nice metaphor. The great yogic masters teach that it's a very real physical place, located right inside our own bodies.
In the yogic tradition, this center has a specific name, the Kutestha Chaitanya. We often just call it the spiritual eye. And it's located right at the point between your eyebrows. Think of it like the control tower for your entire body and consciousness. When your energy is all scattered outward through your senses, you're lost in the storm. But when you pull that energy back here, to this point, you take your seat as the calm observer.
And this is truly ancient wisdom. When Jesus said this, he wasn't talking about your two physical eyes. Notice he says eye, singular. He was talking about this third eye, this single point of concentrated, focused awareness.
In fact, let's try it right now, just for a second. Wherever you are, just gently lift your gaze upwards, kind of like you're looking at a faraway mountain peak. Now, don't strain or cross your eyes, just a gentle lift. And bring all of your attention to that spot, right between the eyebrows. Can you feel that? Just a little something? That's the anchor. That's where the calm lives.
Okay, so how do we make this journey from the rim to the center a regular thing, a real practice? Let's look at the tools we can actually use to get there.
First thing we have to understand is the nature of the storm itself. See, life on the rim works like a pendulum, constantly swinging between opposites. If you experience some great excitement, that pendulum will inevitably swing back toward boredom, or maybe even depression. Pleasure is always balanced by pain. Gain is balanced by loss.
It's really just a matter of physics, right? Most people spend their entire lives trying to hold that pendulum over on the side of pleasure, but it's a losing battle. The more intensely you chase a high, the harder and faster that pendulum swings back to the corresponding low. You just can't win that game. So, here's the crucial insight. The solution isn't to try and stop the pendulum from swinging. You can't. The solution is to climb up the string. As you move your awareness upward toward the pivot point, the swings get smaller and smaller and smaller. And right at the very top, that's the spiritual eye, there's no movement at all. There is only stillness. That's the goal. Now, this whole process of intentionally pulling your energy inward, it has a name in yoga, pratyahara. It basically means withdrawal of the senses. Think about it. Right now, your attention is probably scattered everywhere. You're worried about work, thinking about what's for dinner, scrolling on your phone. Pratyahara is like a general calling all his troops home to the main fortress. You consciously pull all those little threads of attention back inward to this one central point.
So how do we actually do that? What's the vehicle that takes us on this journey inward and upward? It's your breath. The breath is literally the elevator that can take you directly to the top floor, to the spiritual eye. You see, the mind and the breath are completely linked. Think of them like a horse and a rider. If the horse, that's your breath, is running wild, the rider, your mind, has no chance of being steady. So here's the good news. You don't have to fight your chaotic thoughts. Don't even try. Just ignore them and focus on regulating your breath. Breathe in calm, breathe out tension. And with each deep, slow breath, just feel it lifting your awareness up your spine, arriving at that calm center. So what are the real tangible benefits of this?
What happens when you make this a regular practice and actually start living from this place of inner stillness?
Well, this is where all that training really pays off. When a crisis hits, you get bad news, you lose your job, whatever it is, the untrained reaction is to just drop into fear and panic. But the yogi has trained for this exact moment. Their immediate, instinctual reaction is to lift their attention to the spiritual eye, to anchor there first. It doesn't mean you don't feel the emotion, but it means you don't drown in it.
And you can actively build a sanctuary in this space. Make it your personal fortress, your inner bomb shelter. You can visualize it as a beautiful place filled with golden light. And here's the key. The more you visit this inner sanctuary during peaceful times, the easier it's going to be to find that door when the storms of life start raging outside.
This practice also completely transforms your inner monologue. You know, most of us are just drained by constant mental chatter, all that worry and noise. Let's call it small talk. The goal is to replace that monologue with a dialogue, to turn all that chatter into God talk. So instead of just worrying at the universe, have a conversation with the divine. This keeps your attention anchored and it keeps your spirit nourished.
And here is the really beautiful side effect of all this. When you are anchored in your center, you automatically become a center for other people. They are drawn to that stillness in you. By anchoring yourself, you become an anchor for your family, your friends, your coworkers, and you don't even have to preach or say a word. Your own state of peace becomes your sermon.
Look, life is going to continue being life. The winds are going to blow and the storms will come. That is a guarantee. But if you practice this, if you learn to retreat to that center of your own being, you will find a strength that is absolutely unbreakable. I can promise you, the anchor will hold.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this simple 3-step practice. Anytime you feel overwhelmed by the storm, anytime you feel the dizziness of the world spinning around you, just remember this. First, stop what you're doing. Second, take one conscious breath. And third, lift your gaze, returning your attention to your center. You are always safe there.